Hello and welcome to Newsfeed on Trust TV. I am Sumaya Abubakar, taking you through the stories trending online that people are talking about and sharing around the globe today. Former Delta State Governor James Ibori risks fresh 10 years term in jail in UK over £100 million fraud. Bingham University students arrested for allegedly killing Bolt driver in Abuja. Nigeria receives over $9 million grant from Canada government. And videos captures a deadly explosion tearing up streets in Johannesburg, South Africa. On top of what's trending today, we have a court in the United Kingdom is set to order the seizure of more than £100 million, about $129 million from James Ibori, former Delta State Governor, who was convicted of fraud and money laundering in Britain, Reuters is reporting. Ibori, who was governor of Delta from 1999 to 2007, was among the class 1999 governors who visited President Bola Tinubu at Aso Rock last week. It would be recalled that he admitted to 10 charges of fraud and money laundering in 2012 and was sentenced to 13 years in prison. He was extradited from Dubai to London in 2011 after fleeing Nigeria. The British authorities indicted him for stealing public funds and laundering them through UK banks and properties. After years of legal battles and delays, the confiscation proceedings against Ibori are nearing completion. Judge David Tomlinson of Southwark Crown Court has made factual findings regarding the amount of money that Ibori benefited from his crimes, according to Reuters. During a hearing on Thursday, July 20th, the prosecution and the defense presented their arguments on how the confiscation figure should be calculated based on the judge's finding. The judge is expected to finalize the issue shortly afterwards. Now, Jonathan Kinnear, the prosecution lawyer, told the court that the total amount that should be confiscated from Ibori was £101.5 million and that if he fails to pay, he should face an additional prison term of between 5 and 10 years. Ibori, who returned to Nigeria in 2017 after serving half of his sentence, did not attend the hearing. Reuters quoted him as saying he planned to appeal against the confiscation order. However, Britain has promised to return any money recovered from Ibori to Nigeria. In 2021, it returned £4.2 million that had been confiscated from Ibori's ex-wife and his sister, who also served jail time for helping him launder money. A netizen commented, he cannot be jailed again for the purpose of this subject matter. That would amount to double jeopardy because he has already served his jail term. Unless there is a fresh claim unconnected with the previous reason he was detained, that is, a crime he must have committed after 2017 when he was released. Anything different from this is impossible. It is not practical in any common law jurisdiction. Another person said, is God not wonderful? You carried this attitude to abroad too. Someone said, but he is still better than the other governors of Delta State. Okay. Next on what's trending is a sad news of Bingham University students arrested for allegedly killing Bolt driver in Abuja. Men of the FCT Police Command have arrested 3 students of Bingham University in Abuja over the death of a Bolt driver identified as Obasi Okeke parading the suspect before newsmen on Thursday, July 20th. The FCT Commissioner of Police, CP Haruna Garba, said on June 5th the deceased Bolt driver was discovered lying in his pool of blood with a slit throat at Ngugu Close Area 11. Garki, Abuja. He said a painstaking investigation to ascertain the author of the dastardly act led to the arrest of 3 suspects, namely identified as Obasi Inemesit Inem, Aaron Anthony, and Alasan Ayomide Olusegun, students of Bingham University, 2 of which are on suspension from the institution. Now let's take a look at their confession.
How old are you? 18 years. I stopped the boat driver.
You stopped the boat driver?
Yes, sir.
What happened? Why did you stop him?
And when we were trying to pay him, as the man increased the boat price and he did not receive the transfer, we got into an argument and he was trying to be out the use plan because he was really angry because the money did not get into his account. So when I got scared, I stopped it.
A netizen said, you don't have money to pay for your ride and the best thing you can do is to end his generation. Now train the male children. And lady asked, how do you sleep at night knowing that you have taken a life? Man that is looking for his daily bread. Bingham University is one of the expensive private universities in Abuja. Imagine what their parents go through to raise funds. God, please, may we not have kids that wouldn't listen to good trainings and doctrines. A guy added, bad parenting, I doubt. If you have kids that are not wayward or siblings that are not troubling your parents. It's really something to thank God for. Some parents do their best to ensure their children get the best, but sometimes the outcome isn't always left to them. True. Next on What's Trending, we have the Nigerian government on Wednesday, July 19th, received a total of $9,261,920 from the Canadian government to support the scale-up of COVID-19 vaccine service among high-priority risk groups. The High Commissioner of Canada to Nigeria, Jamie Christophe, who spoke at the launch of the Canada Global Initiative for Vaccine Grants in Abuja, noted that while COVID-19 is no longer a global emergency, it is still important to reinforce public health systems as part of an inclusive and sustainable recovery. Christophe also said the grant is another example of Canada's historical institutional relationship with the World Health Organization to support Nigeria in a critical work of preventing disease and protecting those most at risk. He said we must intentionally link up these efforts with routine immunization and other services. This can help, for example, to reach children who miss routine vaccinations over the pandemic. We know that ultimately it takes a health system to turn a vaccine into vaccination. On that can give, the WHO project will be implemented in 7 countries, where Nigeria receives the greatest share of $9 million Canadian dollars. Nigeria was also amongst the first countries to receive COVID-19 vaccine doses from Canada in September of 2021, and I am pleased to be able to continue Canada's support to Nigeria with the latest project. The states where the grant will be implemented include Benue, Kogi, Taraba, Kebbi, Katsina, Anambra, Ebonyi, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, Rivers, Lagos, Ogun, and Ondo states. A netizen asked, of what use is this funds to Nigeria? Someone said, money that one person in Nigeria would give them. And a guy added, give us free visa, not money. Next on What's Trending, we have a team of technical engineers from India has arrived in Ogun State to begin the process of converting vehicles from fuel to compressed natural gas, that's the CNG. The move signals the commencement of the e-mobility and gas mobility program of the state government, which involves the conversion of mass transit buses from fuel to gas. Now, the 4-man technical team will work on the pilot project, initiate the first phase of the gas mobility program, and further prepare a process map to scale up and do a phase-wise implementation on all the commercial buses in the state. It will be recalled that the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration had in March this year, in partnership with Nigerian Transport Solutions Limited, took delivery of the CNG conversion kit for the pilot phase of the state mass transit buses to be fueled by the CNG. The CNG project demonstrates the commitment of the administration to a cleaner economy and ensure cheaper means of transportation in the state, especially with the removal of subsidy on petrol by the federal government in May. Secretary to the state government, SSG, Mr. Tokumbo Talabi, in a statement on Wednesday, said the Indian engineers are in the process of starting a conversion process. According to him, the state's mass transit buses will start running on CNG in the coming days, in line with the promise by His Excellency Prince Abiodun that the project would commence in the first week of August. A netizen commented, so they couldn't use Nigeria engineers? I guess it's just another means to steal money and lie about expenditures. A lady said, Ogun State that has the worst roads ever. Those buses won't survive after a few months. Maintenance is also an issue because we lack it. This is a waste of limited resources to me. There's so many other things that could be done. Someone else opined, good step in the right direction. All right, now let's take a short break, and when we come back, you will see how a man tried to defend himself from abuse. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's Newsfeed. A viral video of a Nigerian man who challenged police officers after he was slapped repeatedly during a stop and search along Benin Auchi Road. Take a look at the confrontation.
Wait, why you slap me? You guys slap me. Yes, wait, you slap me. Now you slap me. You slap me. Give me my phone. Give me my phone.
Hey, leave my. I go.
You want to see? Beat me now.
In the video.
I video you know why you slap me? What did I do? What did I do?
You are not living here.
Sir, you don't know me.
You are not living here.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, sir.
A guy wrote, police are just doing like armed robbers. A lady said, people need to avoid confrontation with this nonsense in guise of police, because if they kill him, Nigerian police would bury the case forever. Another lady said, if they are sacked or demoted, they will carry face like aluminium condemn. Next on what's trending, we have Houston influencer to face jail time in Dubai for allegedly screaming in public. Tiara Young Allen, a 29-year-old social media influencer and truck driver from Houston, Texas, has been stuck in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, for over 2 months after being arrested for allegedly screaming in public. Allen's mother, Tina Baxter, noted that her daughter could now face prison time due to the surveillance video of her screaming. Allen's passport was taken, so she cannot leave the UAE. She is under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation. Before visiting the UAE, the Department of State warns Americans that they should be aware of the stricter public decency and morality laws. Allen was a passenger in a friend's rental car when they got into an accident in Dubai. When she went to the rental car company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, she got into an argument with an aggressive individual, which was captured on a surveillance camera. A netizen said, this is childish for a country that promotes tourism. Another said, when you are in some certain places, behave accordingly. They will not bend their rules because of you. And someone else added, and another American crossed and entered North Korea some days back. North Korean government are not even picking Americans' government's call. Next on what's trending, we have an explosion ripped through a street in Johannesburg on Wednesday, July 19th, killing one person and injuring dozens. Security CCTV footage from a building nearby shows the moment an entire road exploded in a business district, cracking the tarmac and sending mini buses flying. The cause of the explosion on Bree Street has not yet been confirmed, and officials have warned the public to avoid the area due to safety concerns. Some drivers were rescued after being left trapped in their cars. The footage shows a large crack down in the middle of the road, as well as a gaping hole left by the explosion. Robert Mulaudzi, a spokesperson for Johannesburg Emergency Services, said at least 11 people were injured in the explosion. One of those was seriously injured, according to reports. A disaster management squad is in the area and have condoned of a 1-kilometer area because of the risk of further explosions. The buildings are also being assessed for structural damage as a result of the blast. A gas leak is suspected to be the cause of the sudden incident, with some locals reporting smells in the area. A netizen said, God save that guy on white. He's the luckiest man on earth right now. A guy said, a lot has been happening in South Africa ever since they decided to join BRICS. These are the patterns. The West are working overtime, but they will feel okay. Another guy wrote, no one checked the vehicles to see and ensure that one passenger is or was harmed. Indeed. And lastly, onto a funny video of a neat man who got pranked. Take a look.
Bueno, what's happening? I'm thinking of China.
Well, he just gave up on the cleanliness. And that is all on Newsfeed today on Trust TV. Follow us and subscribe to all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Bye.